it's like you're in another place. I can see your mind moving faster than a full-speed freight train. You got so many plates you're spinning, you're afraid to even let one fall. You don't wanna miss a thing, but you're missing what means most of all. Be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be here now. You say it's only temporary, you will smell the roses soon. I understand the feeling, there's so much you think you have to do. Remember that your worth isn't measured by the work you've done. The only thing that matters in the end is how much you love. So be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be here just breathe. Just breathe. Be just breathe. Just this moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around.
Good morning and welcome, Celebration Center. My name is Janine Ballou. I am currently serving as the vice chair of our board of directors here at this wonderful place, and it is my delight to welcome both those in the room and those of you joining us online. If you are joining us online, I welcome you to say hello to us in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Say a few words and feel free to comment during the service too. That's the beautiful thing about a hybrid service. There's all kinds of ways to say hello. Hello, Ingy. I love you. Lots of ways to say hello. If you're in the room, we ask you to check that cell phone and make sure you're on silent mode so we don't have a ring interrupting us. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is a great place, and we'd love to know how you found us. If you found us from our website or some friends or something, let us know. And as a first-time visitor, we'd love to know a little bit more about you. So leave your name, leave your email address, leave your phone number. Let us know if there's a way that we can support you. And for those in the room, if there's anything you need, you know that we have guest cards and prayer cards. Feel free to use those. You can fill those out and drop it in the basket that's off to the side of the room after the service. Today, December 10th, we have a wonderful service planned for you today. Please join me, first of all, in thanking our excellent and always on-time tech crew. Yes, 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 they're here in time to make it work. So we've got Ivor Tillotson manning the soundboard and the video. So round of applause, please, for Ivor. Through the miracle of our hybrid services, we have Judy Blaze joining us as our practitioner on platform today. So welcome, Judy, virtually. No, welcome her for real. That's not a virtual welcome. It's a real welcome. Welcome. Our music director is here with us in the room. Lynn Hollyfield is offering our music today. Give Lynn a round of applause, please, for coming here through the rain. And we are delighted to be welcoming a guest speaker. Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards is joining us today to talk about embracing wholeness. She also is joining us through the miracle of the internet and is online now, joining us from Oakland, California. And she is on the Sacred Activism Task Force with Reverend Chris. And you can I'll be telling you a little bit more about Reverend Jacqueline in a little bit when we introduce her for giving us her talk. Just a couple of announcements right now. I have been peppering you through email with the notification that we're having an annual meeting. That is required by how we are structured as a center, and that's happening today. So for those of you in the room, I hope you've made plans to stay. For those of you online, I would invite you to take a bio break after the service and then come back. We're going to start as best as I can manage at 12:25 p.m. and as best as I can manage end about an hour later. So that's the plan. For those of you in the room, we have snacks. For those of you online, I forgot to put them in the mail. Please forgive me. At this meeting, it's really vitally important that everyone is participating because we vote on our new board members for the 2024 year, and we're going to look at our budget that the current board prepared through some pretty long meetings, and we will be presenting that to you. So you'll have good information on where we stand financially speaking now and in the future. I did bring some snacks. Miriam's coming with a big jug of hummus. And so for those in the room, again, you'll be fed a little bit. And then I also want to let you know that next Saturday, we're going to have a party to say goodbye to Reverend Chris. And that's going to happen here in Height Hall. I don't know what the plans are to make it a hybrid service so people can join in, but I'm sure we could make that happen. The party starts at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. next Saturday. 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. next Saturday. Saturday the 16th, to be specific. And we'd love to have you here. We're going to do some fun things. Miriam has some ideas. I have some ideas. For those in the room, I'll share those with you later. And there she is, our darling board chair, Miriam Katolis. She's perfectly on time. Nope, it's good. And so if anyone else has anything for the good of the order, announcements-wise, with that, let's get started. I'd like to welcome our music director, Lynn Hollyfield, to the stage for our opening song. Please help me welcome Lynn.
And everyone, I hope you're going to sing with us. We're going to start off with Karen Drucker's The Face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
You are the face of God.
I hold you in my heart.
Hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
I hold you in my
I
heart.
hold you in my heart.
You are a part of me.
You are a part of me.
You are the face of
You are
God.
the face of God.
You are the face of love.
The face of love.
I hold you in my
I
heart.
hold you in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of
You
God.
are the face of God.
You are the face
You
of
are
love.
the face of love.
I hold you in my
I
heart.
hold you in my heart.
You are my family.
You are the family.
You are the face
You
of God.
are the face of God.
You are the face of
You are
love.
the face of love.
I hold you in my
I
heart.
hold you in my heart.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face
You
of
are
God.
the face of God.
You are my family.
You are my family.
You are the face of God.
Good morning, everybody. I am a practitioner today, and I have to say with mixed feelings, this is my last Sunday with Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. It has been such an honor and such a pleasure to be your practitioner and to be able to connect with you every month. And I just want to tell you how precious you are. And I want to thank you for welcoming me and being a part of my spiritual family these past 2.5 or so years. So with that, please say our vision together. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And today's reading comes from the Book of Runes by Ralph Bloom. The second to last rune in the cycle of transformation is Sowelu, meaning wholeness, life forces. And it says, this rune stands for wholeness, that which our nature requires. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization and indicates the path you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Seeking after wholeness is the spiritual warrior's quest. And yet, what you are striving to become in actuality is what you by nature already are. You must become conscious of your essence, your personal myth, and bring it into form, express it in a creative way. This rune counsels opening yourself up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret or shut away. To accomplish this may call for profound recognitions, for admitting to yourself something that you may have long denied. And this opening allows love to flow through us, permitting our flow into wholeness, which is the ultimate realization of our personal myth and the goal of the spiritual warrior. So please join me in our special breathing. So let's breathe in and hold and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Now I invite us all to move into that deep place within. That place where we know the radiant self resides. That divine self, that part of us that knows no lack, no limitation, no suffering. It just simply shines with the light of the divine, that perfect beingness. And as we connect with that, we allow it to shine the light on any part of our existence, of our life so far, of our consciousness, of our emotional selves, our mental selves, and our physical selves that might need some light, that might need a radiance to open us up to our greater magnificence, that who we truly are, that wholeness within, that place that we know that we have never, ever been apart from, that cannot be diminished. And we just allow ourselves to bask in that light so that we can remember that we are always in the right place at the right time. We are always on the path that we are meant to be, that whatever is going on in our life, it is actually for our greatest and most powerful good. No matter how dark it feels, no matter what might be coming up that we have to put as grist for the mill, we know that it is really, truly a gift for our opening, for our greater expression. And as we stay in this beautiful place, we feel that connectivity to the divine source of being. And we know that we are supported in every way. We are supported materially. There is no lack or limitation in any part of our physical lives. We know that we are supported emotionally, that divine love pours through us and comforts any place that needs comforting, heals all of our wounds, because we simply allow it. We allow it into every crevice of our being. And we know that that same light shines on our mental being, those places where the thoughts may want to pull us away from that sense of oneness and that sense of connection. And we allow it to purify our thoughts, to release out anything that is not the truth of our being, which is the truth of our true essential wholeness with all of life. And we know that it shines the light on our physical being, knowing that whatever places that hurt or ache or are in pain, or any place that feels off of the center and balanced with harmonious wholeness, is now being restructured, cleansed, purified, and brought back into the perfect balance of our physical being It has been there from the beginning of the conception of who we are in the mind and heart of God. So each of us here is blessed with this beautiful gift of absolute knowing of our wholeness, of our connection, of the light on our path. And so everyone here is blessed with this. Everyone here brings that blessing out into the world. And every single being on this planet is blessed with this light that we allow to flow through us unobstructed. So in love and gratitude, I just allow this to be, knowing it is complete, it is done, and we are here to embody it and to move forward, knowing this blessing and being this blessing. And so in love and deep, deep gratitude, I release, I let it go, knowing it is done, it is complete. And so it is.
Okay, I'm going to share an original song. This is called Just Begin. When you're feeling lost or a little blue, and the world around isn't what you used to, you were all set. Now life shakes that dream, paints an illusion. What does it all mean? Take a deep breath. Now it's the start. Take a leap of faith from your weary heart. Pull out your colors from deep within. An old seed planted, now a flower blossoming. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, dark and light. Help teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been, just begin. Pull out your colors. You might think they're dim, but only your hand can make them blend. See for yourself what's right before your eyes. It's your masterpiece with no disguises. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Like in the night, dawn's around the corner, dark and light. Help teach you to be stronger. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. You thought the days ahead would be a little lighter. You thought your steps would have taken you farther. Wherever you are, it's where you need to be. Don't worry what's been. Don't worry, look within. Don't worry where you've been, just begin. The rain makes tuning challenging, so thanks for bearing with me.
Before I introduce our guest speaker today, I have two things I'd like to say. The first one is Lynn. You wrote music before you knew us, but those songs are perfect for us. And I just see that as such a beautiful wholeness of spirit, that we are all one. You found us, we found you. Your music speaks to us so perfectly. Thank you. It's really fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. She's ours, yes, and we are hers. And the other thing I want to say, Judy, we love you. And we are so grateful that you found us and we found you. And to have you as part of a practitioner corps for the past 2.5 years has truly been a wonderful, expansive blessing. I hope, is she still here? Is she online? Listen, wherever you go, know that we go with you and take a part of us with you too, Judy. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'm excited to introduce someone that I've not met yet. So hello, Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards. I'm going to read a little bit about her from the bio, and then we'll introduce her as our message provider today. Reverend Jacqueline Edwards, Reverend D. Jacqueline Edwards, is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister. She is the founder and spiritual leader of Platinum Butterfly Focus Ministry. And Reverend Jacqueline, you don't know this, but we've got butterflies all around our room. So again, I think that this is all meant to be. She envisions through this ministry creating a world in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive. She has previously served as the spiritual leader of First Church of Religious Science in Vallejo, California, and as a founding member and past chair of the Centers for Spiritual Living Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. She currently serves as an adjunct faculty member at the CSL School of Spiritual Leadership and is a founding and leadership team member of People of African Descent in New Thought Group, which does have an acronym that I can't pronounce, so I'll repeat the name of the group again. People of African Descent in New Thought Group, Inc., which convenes the Celebrating Our Soul conference at Unity Village in Missouri. She gets around. Reverend Jacqueline has a Bachelor of Arts in Human Relations, a master's degree in Organization Development and Change, and a master's degree in Consciousness Studies. She also has over 20 years' experience in public sector human resources management. Reverend Jacqueline is a public speaker,
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I am absolutely delighted to be here. What a wonderful name you all have, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. It is in the name. Let us celebrate this opportunity that we have to live from our spiritual core. Amen. As somebody says, how does it get any better than that? Amen. All right. So one of the ways that I describe myself is as a born again religious science practitioner and minister. And I bring you that because I want to encourage you to bring in the amens, the yahoos, the yes, when you feel that. And I'm not really incredibly interested in when you're feeling something else. I invite you, in fact, to just transmute that to a yes and a joy and a hallelujah and all of that. I must say a deep and humble gratitude to Reverend Chris Alexander. It is an honor and a privilege when a minister invites you to be in their pulpit. And so I want to share with you, Reverend Chris, and with your congregation, with your people, that I do not take that lightly and that I am deeply and humbly grateful. I have to give a shout out to Judy for that magnificent prayer that she did, and just for her whole presentation. Just in this short exposure, I can see what a magnificent gift she is and has been to this community. And I'm saying she is because even though she is leaving an imprint. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And having said that, I'm going to also do a short prayer because it's what I do. It's how I start. I like to pray myself in. And so taking a cue from Judy, I again invite us to take a deep breath. We want to inhale through the nose, hold it for a moment, and then we're going to exhale through the mouth. Inhale, hold, and release. And so what I know, declare, and accept on behalf of myself, on behalf of everyone in the physical sanctuary, as well as those of us who are in the virtual sanctuary, that indeed there is by definition only one of us here, and that one is absolutely an emanation of the divine, that as God is all there is, all there ever has been, and all there ever will be, by definition, that includes each and every one of us. As we understand God in, through, and as each and every one of us, we know that that is all inclusive. That is inclusive of all the names, all the expressions of the divine. God, Allah, Oludumare, by whatever name we call it, it is indeed resonating in, through, and as each one of us, resonating in, through, and as our divine interaction and communication this morning. And so it is with a humble sense of gratitude that I release this word to the immutable and impeccable law that always and in always simply says yes. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you to join me wherever you are in declaring amen, ashe, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, we are in December. We are at the end of a year of living out loud. And wow, is the planet not living out loud in so many ways all over. I'm not going to recount all the things that are going on or that have transpired through this year, but what I know and we know is that wherever we are on the planet right now, we are in the midst of some type of change or preparation for change. And I invite us to take this idea of living out loud that we've been playing with all year and to take that as a foundation for our stepping forth into a new year of practicing all the things that we've learned from that experience. If we've indeed been again living out loud, then what that means is we've been showing our true selves. And it means that we have in very many ways. Last month we talked about the sacred and the profane. In many ways, we've allowed ourselves to be with each other in ways that we may not have prior to 2023 in preparation for 2024. And so here in this second week of the month of December, we're playing with this idea of living as wholeness, living as wholeness. So what we get to do with that is to look at what does wholeness mean and how do we show up in that. Last week you had the opportunity to play with this idea of wholeness in this sharing, this wonderful sharing that you all did. And you talked about the happies and the crappies. And I think that that is delightful because, again, it is embracing wholeness. Now, we're going to take a little bit deeper or different, probably more different than deeper dive, because I think there was a depth to your shares last week that encompassed and embraced this idea that we are God having a human experience. And so what we're going to do today is look at how we can take that consciously, purposefully take this understanding that we have, that we are God having a human experience, and have a broader expression, and in some cases, perhaps a deeper understanding. And I'm giving you a perhaps. That is the only out card you're going to get from me today, is that little perhaps right there. So if you need to hook around that, I want to invite you to hook around that right now, because I believe that we are living in, being in, breathing in, expressing in a time where participation is actually not optional, where in fact, if we are on the planet right now, we've got work to do. There are things that are uniquely and divinely and perfectly and impeccably ours to do. I want to suggest that some of us are really clearly aware of that. And some of us are doing what we're here to do. Others of us are pretending that we don't know. Let me not say pretending. That's being a little mean-spirited. I do take that back. Not pretending, but some of us really don't know what is ours to do. What I want to share is that we can use these spiritual tools to discover what is ours to do. There's a saying, and it is a biblical saying, although Ernest Holmes references it: ask, ask. And in our teaching and our understanding that there's a power for good in the universe and we can use it, we actually have quite a bit of practice with ask. So now we get to expand that ask to what is it that is uniquely, divinely, perfectly, and impeccably mine to do. And in our doing that, we get to know, we get to realize, we get to understand that not only is there a power for good in the universe and we can use it, but there's a power for good in the universe and it can use me. Our topic for today is recognizing wholeness, seeing the good in all. Now, Reverend Chris talked about that. She touched on that a little bit last week. And sometimes it is difficult to see the good in everything that's going on. I want to just touch on that very briefly and say that in my understanding of this principle, this idea, and the way I often say it is that God, Oludumare, and Oludumare is the Yoruba or Ifa, and Yoruba and Ifa are African religions, and the Yoruba or Ifa religions specifically, they refer to God as Oludumare, which I just embrace because it is the thing that we say we're going towards. Oludumare is genderless and is all genders. Oludumare has no human personality, but is all that there is. Sounds a little bit like religious science, doesn't it? So in this place that we understand that God is, Oludumare is all that there is. And as I like to say, is the good to which there is no opposite. That means that we look at and see, and what we look at and what we see, we call it good, because in speaking our word to the thing, we make it the thing. Now, we don't practice magic. So what that means is that in looking at the thing and calling it good, what we realize, recognize, and embody is that what I'm seeing is a gap between what I would call good and what I'm seeing in front of me. So when I see that gap, then circling right back to what is it that is mine to do, that means that I need to get about God's business. And being about God's business means that I'm being about closing that gap by doing what is uniquely, divinely, perfectly, and impeccably mine to do. Ashe? Okay. This word wholeness is defined by the Oxford Dictionary. Actually, excuse me, let me retract that. I have another Oxford Dictionary word, but this wholeness, I actually took this definition from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. And Charles Fillmore and his wife Myrtle are the founders of Unity, which is one of our sister New Thought religions, spiritual practices. It is a new thought, spiritual expression on the planet. You may be familiar with it through their Daily Word magazine. But Charles defines wholeness as the perfect unification and expression. Now he says man, but you know he wrote a long time ago, and we don't say that today. So I'm going to say of all of humanity, the perfect unification and expression of each individual of all of humanity as spirit, soul, and body. The unification and expression of each one of us as spirit, soul, and body. Then he says, true healing. True healing. I'm suggesting that what's required to close that gap is a healing. True healing means to make whole. And now it gets juicy. He says it is brought about, that is the healing, is brought about by regeneration. Now, regeneration, this is actually my Oxford definition, is the action or process of regenerating, of regenerating or being regenerated. I seem to have disappeared here, but I'm going to keep talking. Am I coming back in? Was this my computer? What is going on here? I need a little regeneration. Wow. Hello? Okay. So I have just switched to my telephone. I apologize. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit and then go forward. Fillmore defines wholeness as the perfect unification and expression of each one of us as spirit, soul, and body. True healing means to make whole, and it's brought about by regeneration. Regeneration is the action or process of regenerating or being regenerated, in particular, the formation of new, something that is made new out of something that is existing. Let's take that to our world and life experience as we are having it right now. We have conditions that are inviting us to interact with them in a regenerative way. Ernest Holmes says, the spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living and eternal flames of spirits. What does that mean? It means that we have the opportunity, and I like to say the responsibility, to consistently and constantly go within as we're seeing what is without again and ask, how do we bless? How do we grow this divine spark that is within us in such a way that we are able to absolutely manifest change, manifest wholeness in our own personal individual life experiences, as well as in our own work in the world. I invite us to ask the question, what is Hi. I invite us to ask the question, what are our values as we seek wholeness? What matters to us as we seek to create a world that works for all? First, we have to see and acknowledge all, and that we all have the opportunity to make a contribution. Values are defined as, and this is on a site called Sacred Values. Values are defined as individual beliefs that motivate people to act in one way or another. They serve as a guide for human behavior. Our values serve as a guide for human behavior. Now, it goes on to say that generally people are predisposed to adopt the values they are raised with. We also tend to believe that those values are right just because they are the values of our own experience or culture. Some values have intrinsic worth, such as love, truth, and freedom. Other values, such as ambition, responsibility, and courage, describe traits or behaviors that are instrumental as means to an end. Still, other values are considered sacred and are moral imperatives for those who believe in them. Sacred values will seldom be compromised because they are perceived as responsibilities rather than as factors to be weighed in decision making. Let's look at that for a minute. If in fact I believe that God is all there is and there is nothing else regardless of appearances, that means that everywhere my eye lands as I look around, I see God, particularly as I'm looking at my cohorts on this journey through life, wherever they may be, whatever physicality they may be showing up in. I'm recognizing that I see God. Now, if I have values that encompass things like love, things like courage, things like truth, things like freedom, and things like justice, that means that when I'm looking around in the world and I see expressions, experiences that are knocking up against, that are clashing against these values, then I'm called up and called out. Then it's my turn to look at how do I implement these values. I've just started reading a book by Otis Moss III, Reverend Dr. Otis Moss III, and the book is titled Dancing in the Darkness: Spiritual Lessons for Thriving in Turbulent Times. Reverend Dr. Moss gives us, as an example, a story of the early life of Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman, who was one of, if not the primary mentor for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The story goes that when Dr. Howard was a youngster and his own parents and family and community really had created a way for him to go to high school, and the story is available for you to read. He found himself at the train station because in the area where he grew up, there weren't many high schools for African American youth to attend. So he found himself at a train station on the way to go to stay with relatives so that he could attend high school. When he got ready to get on the train, the conductor told him he could not bring his bag because his tag was not attached to a handle on the bag, on the suitcase. His tag was attached to a rope that was serving as a handle on the suitcase. This young man, we're talking about a person who's about 14, maybe 15 years old, was so distraught that he sat and he wept. As he was sitting there, the story goes, he looked down, he opened his eyes, and he saw some shoes standing in front of him. And when he looked up, there was an African-American man standing there looking down at him saying, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" And he told him his story. And the man said, "I am going to fix that. The idea that you are going to get an education is something that I wholly and fully support." Now, those may not have been his exact words. And as Dr. Moss points out, there's no record of this story, no record of this man, rather, although Thurman does dedicate one of his books later on in life to this gentleman. So what this man did was he went and he arranged for Thurman's bag to be shipped to where he was going. He paid for it to be shipped. Now, when Moss digs down into this story, he invites us to consider the sacred value of justice. He invites us to consider it from three different perspectives. He invites us to consider justice as an expression that has to go hand in hand with love and justice. And he reminds us that what we are charged with today is the opportunity and the responsibility to address the times that we're living in, to help us to, in his words, restore to ourselves a spiritual foundation. Now we're talking about values of courage, strength, self-reflection, creativity, compassion, and faith. He goes on to talk about love and justice as being not only interactive, but as healing and regenerative values. And he talks about love not as a light thing, but as that love that we like to refer to as agape love. He goes on to say that love and justice must work together with each other, that there is a danger of love without justice in that it becomes sentimental and even appeasing, but it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't create any change in the world. So going back to our Thurman story, love without justice would have been the man sitting down and commiserating with young Thurman, saying that's terrible, that's bad, wrong, and awful. I'm just really sorry that you won't be able to go to school. That's love without justice. Justice without love it's what we're seeing in the world today. It's what we're seeing specifically in the Israeli-Hamas activity, war that's going on. We're seeing justice without love. Justice without love leads to all kinds of things. It means that we're doing the eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Someone said an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. Going for justice without love has no long-lasting impact or effect. Just as in the story, it was the combination of love and justice, meaning that the man loved Thurman and he took action that created the justice of getting Thurman to school. He took the action that pushed down the injustice of the Jim Crow South and the laws and the things that were going on at that time. His action was both loving and it was just. How do we apply that today? How do we take this idea of love and justice and apply it out into the world that we live in? I invite us to consider the idea of conscious evolution, springing from the understanding that we are indeed all connected. As you say in your vision statement says, knowing the oneness of humanity. Knowing and experiencing the oneness of humanity invites us to take a giant step. Remember that little game from our childhood? Take one step, take a small step forward, take 2 steps backwards. There is an invitation for us to take a giant step into the conscious evolutionary process of creating a world that works for everyone and as I like to say, at least a world in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Ernest Holmes says there is a principle back of all evolution which responds to the demand made upon it in the terms of the demand, good, bad, or indifferent. Right or wrong, as we understand it, this principle doesn't know anything about our rightness or our wrongness. It just acts by reacting and reacts by correspondence, exactly like a mirror. But there is infinite intelligence behind it. And that's in the Ernest Holmes papers. We are invited to consciously evolve through our actions the world that we want to see, experience, express, and live in. My charge to you today is, if there is any small part of you that is in any way unhappy, dissatisfied with the conditions that are in existence on the planet, any of them, whatever the area may be, if it's the environment, if it's war, if it's health, if it's education, whatever the area may be, take a deep dive. Take a deep dive. Use those research skills that we learned in high school when we had to write those papers that we complained about. Use those skills. Find out what's going on at the bottom of it. Find out why there are these conditions that people are living under. And when you discover the why under it, when you follow the crumbs, when you see the cause, the human cause, then I invite you to take it to first cause. And when you take it to first cause, take it to first cause with that initial question: what is it that is mine to do? Be still, hear the answer, and act. I want to close with another quote from Ernest Holmes. And this is a quote that is also in the Holmes paper. And it is Holmes's comment about war. He says, we have to get to a place where we say, this is it. I invite us to consider that now is the time to say, this is it. He says, a few idealists said there could be peace on earth, while others said, what fools, there's always been war and always will be war. Now, I thought this was an interesting example. I'm guessing he's writing in the early 60s. Russia doesn't want war, and certainly no other country wants war. Recall that that was the period we call the Cold War, meaning there were no armaments, but we were still ready. He goes on to say, no one wants war. Now, this is where our part comes in. He says, but it is a psychological thing, something coming up out of the experience of the human race. Is what we've been doing, is what we've always done. The day, the moment, the second, the hour, I'm adding the moment, the second, the hour, the minutes, the consensus of human opinion would agree that there will be no more war. It just won't be there. The affirmation will have neutralized the negation. The moment The moment the consensus of human opinion agrees that there will be no more war, it just won't be there. The affirmation will have neutralized the negation. Conscious evolution. We demonstrate a harmony that's not too much beyond the consensus of human opinion. There must be a song beyond what any human being has sung. And there is. Ashe, amen, amen, aho, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Edwards. Beautiful message. Lots to chew on. And I invite now our director of music to share with us something to listen to.
Yeah, I'm going to sing this song now. This is called Will There Be Peace? Okay, hang on a sec. Hopefully that will be in tune. Thanksgiving blessings, turkey dressing, giving thanks and gratitude for pumpkin pie. Me and you, next day the countdown, Christmas carols all around, making gifts from the heart, a long, long list where to start. Singing songs of joy and cheer, goodwill and a midnight clear. Will there be peace on earth this year, or ever, or ever? Shopping, baking, to the bank, racing, cookies in the making, a beauty of a pine trees waiting for the frills of foil stars to grace the top, shine afar, and a little bell that waits to ring. We need the angel to get her wings. Oh yeah, singing songs of joy and cheer, goodwill and a midnight clear. Will there be peace on earth this year, or ever, or ever? Little child sleeping, holding light, keeping love alive for you and I, a gift that we're all seeking, a time we can all believe that in our lives there will be peace. Let's carry it everywhere, peace. Let's go and share, singing songs of joy and cheer, goodwill and a midnight clear. Will there be peace on earth this year, or ever, or ever, or ever? Let's believe. Donna nobis pacem, pacem. Donna nobis pacem.
simply beautiful. We move now to a time in our service to give our thanks in a physical or meaningful way through our gifts, through our tithes and offerings. All of us know that we are a tithing community. It's reflected in how we organize our budget, as a matter of fact, and you'll be able to see that in our annual meeting that's going to happen soon. But we want you to know that your presence itself is a gift. As you participate, as you share, as you love, you're here as a gift to this center. So thank you for that. There are several ways you can give. If you are in person, there's a basket off to the side, and you can drop a check or a money order or stock certificate in there. We'd love to have that. If you're online, you can scan the QR code that's on the screen right now, or always go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button. You're welcome also to mail your gift in, and you can find our address on our beautiful website, celebrationcenter.org. And is Judy still here to bless our donations?
Yes. And let's say our offertory affirmation together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we know that they are already blessed. They were blessed from the moment we were born, because everything that flows through us is a great blessing. So we know that as we give, so shall we receive. And we know that these gifts go out and multiply and create beauty and love and abundance everywhere in the whole world because of that energy of oneness. So I know that you are blessed and I am blessed, the center is blessed, and it blesses all who have any contact with it through these beautiful and wonderful, heartfelt gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Lynn.
Join us in singing Ricky Byers' Holy, Holy Way. This is a call and response, so somehow I didn't put the attachment on, so just follow me. It's a good one to not have the lyrics up there for, so here we go. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love,
Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
let me love,
Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around
let me
me.
know,
Let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around me.
Let me know,
let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a
Holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh,
Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
let me live
In a holy, holy way. Oh, let me walk each day a little wiser.
let me walk
each day a little wiser. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh,
Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
oh,
Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
let me serve
in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing.
let me share
The good that's that's overflowing. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace. Let my steps reveal a path of peace. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Lynn and Chen, thank you. To end, please repeat after me. I am whole and complete. Every aspect of me is valuable and important. I embrace all of me with love. I am a unique expression of life. I am God in action. And so it is.